She climbed into bed, still wearing hospital scrubs. And something in me just snapped. I told her to get out. Now she won't even look at me. So tell me this. Did I just ruin my relationship over something completely reasonable? Or did I finally stand up for something that should have never been an issue in the first place? Because right now, I honestly don't know if I'm the bad guy or the only sane one left in this situation. It didn't start as a big deal. Not even close. At first, it was one of those small things you notice, hesitate over, and then brush off because you don't want to seem difficult. My girlfriend, let's call her Emily, works as a nurse here in the UK. She's 26, incredibly dedicated, the kind of person who will skip her own meals just to make sure her patients are okay. 12-hour shifts, sometimes longer. Nights, weekends, bank holidays, she's always there. And I admired that about her. Still do. But there was this one thing. Every time she came home from work, she'd walk in, drop her bag, kick off her shoes, and head straight to bed, still in her scrubs. At first, I told myself, she's exhausted. Don't make it a thing. I mean, I work a standard office job. I sit at a desk all day. I'm not dealing with sick patients, infections, bodily fluids, nothing like that. So who was I to complain when she just wanted to collapse after a brutal shift? But then, I started thinking about it more. Those scrubs had been in a hospital all day, around patients, around illnesses, around things I probably didn't even want to imagine. And now they were in our bed where we sleep every night, where our faces rest on the pillows, where we spend hours breathing, resting, completely vulnerable. I tried to ignore it. I really did. But once that thought got into my head, it wouldn't leave. It started small. One night, I casually said, "Hey, maybe you should shower before bed? You know, hospital stuff." She didn't even look up, just mumbled, "I'll shower in the morning," already half asleep. I let it go. Second time, I brought it up a bit more directly. "Em, I'm serious. You've been at the hospital all day. Can you just have a quick shower first?" She sighed, clearly annoyed. "I've just worked 12 hours. I'm exhausted. I'll deal with it in the morning." And again, I let it go. Because I didn't want to be that guy. The nagging, overly picky boyfriend who doesn't understand how hard his girlfriend works. But the thing is, it kept happening. Night after night. Same routine. Door opens, shoes off, straight to bed. Scrubs and all. And each time, it bothered me a little more. Not just because of hygiene, but because it felt like she didn't care how it affected me. I started losing sleep over it. I'm not even exaggerating. I'd lie there next to her, staring at the ceiling, thinking about everything those scrubs had touched, wondering what was now on our sheets, on our pillows. I find myself pulling the duvet up closer, like somehow that would protect me. It sounds ridiculous when I say it out loud, but in the moment, it felt real. And the more I tried to push it down, the worse it got. Eventually, I couldn't ignore it anymore. One night, I stopped her before she got into bed. "Hey, please, just shower first." She looked at me like I'd asked her to run a marathon. "I can't. I'm dead tired." "It'll take 5 minutes. I said I'll do it in the morning." And that's when something in me shifted. Because it wasn't just about the shower anymore. It was about the fact that I'd asked multiple times, and she kept brushing it off like it didn't matter. Like I didn't matter. I tried to stay calm. I'm not asking for much. Just basic hygiene before getting into bed. Her expression changed instantly. "Oh my God. Are you serious right now?" "Yes, I am. You have no idea what my day was like." "I know it's hard, Em. I respect that. But this is our bed. I just wanted to stay clean." She crossed her arms. "So now I'm dirty?" "That's not what I said. That's exactly what you're implying." I could feel the tension building, but I couldn't back down. "Not this time. I'm saying the hospital is dirty. And you're bringing that into our bed." She just stared at me, hurt, angry, exhausted. And for a second, I almost gave in. Almost. But then I thought about how many times this had happened. How many times I stayed quiet. And I held my ground. "If you don't want to shower, then maybe just sleep on the sofa tonight." The second the words left my mouth, I knew I'd crossed the line. Her face fell. Not angry this time, just hurt. "Wow," she said quietly. "That's what you think of me?" "That's not..." "No, it's fine." She grabbed a blanket. "I'll sleep on the sofa." And just like that, She walked out of the room. I stood there, frozen. Part of me wanted to go after her, to say I didn't mean it like that, to take it back. But another part of me, the stubborn, frustrated part, said, "No, you're right. This needed to be said." So I didn't move. I got into bed alone. And for the first time in weeks, I slept without that constant anxiety crawling under my skin. But when I woke up the next morning, the flat felt different. Quiet. Cold. She was already gone for her shift. No text. No morning. Nothing. And that's when it really hit me. This wasn't just about a shower anymore. This had turned into something much bigger. Since that night, she's barely spoken to me. Short answers. No eye contact. No affection. Like there's this invisible wall between us now, and I can feel it getting thicker every day. She told me I made her feel dirty, unappreciated. Like everything she does, every long shift, every sacrifice means nothing to me. And that part stuck with me because that was never my intention. I do appreciate her. I'm proud of her. I just don't want hospital germs in my bed. But now I'm sitting here wondering if I handled it completely wrong, if I pushed too hard, if I said it in a way that made her feel attacked instead of understood, or if this was always going to blow up eventually, no matter how I said it. And the worst part, I don't know how to fix it, because if I back down now, it feels like I'm saying my concerns don't matter. But if I don't, I might lose her, and I don't know which one scares me more. The silence didn't break the next day, or the day after that. It just settled in. Like something heavy sitting between us that neither of us wanted to touch. Emily still went to work, still came home, still moved around the flat like she always did. But it felt like I was living with a stranger. No more random hugs from behind while I was cooking. No more tired smiles when she walked through the door. No more little chats about her day. Now it was just distance, short answers, flat tone. And the worst part? She stopped coming to bed altogether. The first night after everything happened, I thought she just needed space. That made sense. I told her to sleep on the sofa after all. But then it happened again the next night. And the next? Every time she came home, she'd shower now, ironically. But instead of coming to bed, she'd grab a blanket and head straight to the sofa. That hit harder than I expected. Because technically, she was doing exactly what I asked. Showering after work. Keeping the bed clean. But it didn't feel like a win. It felt like I'd lost something far more important. The flat felt colder at night. Quieter. Empty in a way that had nothing to do with space. I started lying awake again. But this time, it wasn't about germs. It was about her. About how things went from normal to this. And I kept replaying that moment in my head. If you don't want to shower, then maybe sleep on the sofa? God, it sounded so harsh now. So final. Like I wasn't giving her a choice. Just an ultimatum. A few days in, I tried to talk to her. I found her in the kitchen, making coffee before her shift. She looked exhausted. Dark circles under her eyes, hair tied back messily. I hated seeing her like that. "Hey," I said carefully. She didn't look up. "Hey." That alone told me everything. I leaned against the counter. "Can we talk?" A pause. Then, "I'm kind of in a rush." Of course she was. "You've been avoiding me." "I'm not avoiding you." "Then why won't you even look at me?" That got her attention. She finally turned, but there was no warmth in her eyes. Just guarded. "Because every time I look at you, I hear what you said." My chest tightened. You made me feel disgusting," she continued, voice steady but heavy. "Like I'm something you need to protect yourself from." "That's not what I meant." "Then what did you mean?" I opened my mouth, and for a second, nothing came out. Because how do you explain that without making it worse? I was worried about hygiene. That's it. She let out a short, humorless laugh. "Hygiene." "Yes. I work in a hospital," she said, her voice rising slightly now. "I follow hygiene protocols all day. I wash my hands constantly. I change gloves between patients. I know how this works." "I know you do." "Then why are you acting like I'm bringing something dangerous home?" "I'm not." "You are," she cut in. "You literally told me to sleep somewhere else because you didn't want me in the same bed as you." The words hit hard, because hearing them from her perspective made them sound even worse. I didn't want the scrubs in the bed, I said quietly. But you said it to me, she replied, softer now, but more painful. Not to the scrubs, not to the hospital, to me. That I didn't have an answer for. The room went quiet. I appreciate what you do, I said after a moment. I really do. You say that, she interrupted, shaking her head, but it doesn't feel like it. And there it was. Not anger, not frustration, just hurt. Pure, quiet hurt. I come home after 12 hours of taking care of people, she continued, her voice trembling slightly now. Sometimes I don't even sit down the whole shift. I deal with things you don't even want to think about. And when I finally get home, I just want to collapse. I swallowed hard. I'm not asking you to do anything extreme, I said. Just a quick shower. Do you know how exhausting it is to even stand in the shower after a shift like that? She asked. To keep your eyes open? I didn't. And in that moment, I realized how little I actually understood her reality. I'm not saying you're wrong to want a clean bed, she added quietly. But the way you said it, the way you looked at me. She paused. It made me feel like I was something dirty you didn't want near you. I'm sorry, I said. And I meant it. But it didn't fix anything. I have to go, she said, grabbing her bag. I'll see you later. And just like that, she walked out again. That night, I sat alone, staring at the sofa she'd been sleeping on. And for the first time, I questioned myself properly. Was I being reasonable? Or was I so fixated on this one issue that I completely ignored what she was going through? I started looking things up. Reading about hospital hygiene, infection risks, what nurses actually bring home on their clothes. Some sources said it's better to shower immediately. Others said the risk is relatively low if basic precautions are followed. Nothing was black and white. And that made it worse because I wanted a clear answer, a right and wrong. But instead, I got gray. And somewhere in that gray, our relationship was falling apart. A few nights later, things hit another breaking point. She came home later than usual. I heard the door, slow footsteps, her bag dropping. She looked completely drained. Hey, I said softly. She nodded, then started heading for the sofa. Still in her scrubs, my chest tightened. Em, I said, stopping her. She didn't turn. Please don't. Can we just... I said please don't, she repeated, her voice cracking. That's when I noticed it. She wasn't angry. She was breaking. I can't do this tonight, she whispered. I've got nothing left. That should have been my cue to stop. To just be there. But instead, I hesitated. And in that hesitation, the same thought came back. The bed, the germs, everything I'd been holding on to. And I realized I was at a crossroads. Push again or let it go. And I didn't know which would hurt more. I wish I could say I made the right choice. That I walked over, held her, and said, forget it. Just come here. But I didn't. You should really shower first. The second I said it, I knew. She didn't turn. She just stood there, silent. Then I heard it. A shaky breath. She turned slowly, and her eyes were red. I just told you I don't have anything left, she said softly. But what? She cut in. Is your bed more important than me right now? That's not... Because that's what it feels like. I tried to step closer, but she stepped back. I feel like I'm constantly failing you, she said, wiping her eyes. Like no matter how hard I work, it's never enough. That's not true. Then why do you make me feel like this? I had no answer. I'm sorry, I said again. But it wasn't enough. This isn't about the shower anymore, she said. I know. You don't see me, she continued. You see a problem you want to control. I'm not trying to control you. It feels like you are. Silence. I need space, she said quietly. And there it was. How much space? I asked. I don't know. I just can't do this right now. She grabbed a few things. No drama, no shouting, just distance. I'll text you when I get there. And then she left. The door closed softly. And just like that, I was alone. The bed I'd been so worried about keeping clean felt completely meaningless because she wasn't in it. The next morning, I got a text. I'm okay. Just need time. No love you. Nothing. And I realized This might not be something I can fix easily. Days passed. Short texts. Cold replies. So I asked to meet. We met at a small cafe. Neutral ground. When I saw her, for a second, everything felt normal. But up close, the distance was still there. I don't want this to end, I said. I don't either, she replied. Hope. But I can't go back to how things were. Fragile again. I just want us to figure it out. I've been able to breathe, she said. That word hurt. I didn't mean to make you feel that way. I know, but it still happened. She told me she spoke to another nurse. Said this kind of situation happens more than people think. That you weren't crazy, she said. But it shouldn't turn into control. I wasn't trying to control you. I know, but intention and impact aren't the same. That stayed with me. You were scared, she said, and turned it into a rule. I nodded. I wanted comfort, I said, and I wanted to feel safe coming home, she replied. And suddenly, it made sense. Different fights, same pain. So what do we do? I asked. We find a middle ground. On days she's exhausted, I don't push. On days she has energy, she'll shower first. And one more thing, stop making me feel like I'm dirty. I will, I said. I promise. I miss you, I said. I miss you too. And for the first time, it felt like we might be okay. Not perfect, but willing to try. Because sometimes, being right isn't what matters. Sometimes, understanding the person you love is. So tell me, if you were in my place, would you have stood your ground or done something differently? Let me know what you think. And if you've ever seen something small turn into something big, you're not alone.